Three things, not 10, not a formula, not a system to buy. These are the ancient pillars of wealth preservation that the loud and the hurried will never understand. They require no capital to start, only the iron will to remain silent when others feel the need to boast. Three disciplines, mastered in order, and money starts behaving differently around the people who hold them. It stops being a frantic chase and becomes a gravitational pull. Most people speak to convince themselves. The wise speak only when the action is already complete. Silence, timing, patience. These are not merely virtues, they are the strategic tools of the elite. Without them, your strategy is just noise. With them, you become the architect of your own inevitability, moving through the market with the quiet confidence of a predator. Silence. It is the most difficult discipline because it denies you the immediate dopamine of approval. When you have a brilliant idea, the urge to share it is a leak in your power. Seal the leak. Let the pressure build until it manifests as a result, not a conversation. Every plan you announce loses a piece of its power the moment it becomes a sentence someone else has heard. They will offer doubts disguised as advice or praise that makes you feel you've already won. Both are poisons. Keep your movements hidden until they are irreversible. Practice this. The next financial decision you make, tell no one until it's done. Not your partner, not your friends, not your mentor. Experience the strength that comes from being the only person in the world who knows what you are about to do. Timing. Most people confuse activity with progress. They jump because the market is moving, not because the time is right. But the market is a sea of noise, and timing is the art of waiting for the one wave that belongs to you. The same opportunity, offered in a panic and offered in a calm, is not the same opportunity. The price may be identical, but your ability to execute is not. Timing is about the state of your own mind as much as the state of the world. Learn to separate the urgency of a real deadline from urgency manufactured by someone who benefits from your hurry. If they need you to sign today, they are afraid of what you will realize tomorrow. True wealth is the ability to walk away from a rushed deal. Patience. This is the final gate. It is the understanding that the seed does not become a tree because you watch it, but because you leave it alone. The hardest part of investing isn't the buying, it's the years of doing absolutely nothing while others are busy losing. Everything that compounds looks like nothing is happening for far longer than feels reasonable. The greatest fortunes are built in the quiet intervals between the noise. By the time the world notices your success, the foundation was laid years ago in the shadows of your own discipline. The people who broke first were not wrong about the destination. They were wrong about how long the road actually was. They expected a sprint where a marathon was required. By marking a date far in the future, you shift your biology from the frantic search for immediate reward to the steady rhythm of strategic endurance. Discipline is found in the details others skip. While the crowd rushes to sign, driven by the fear of missing out, the master slows down. They look for the hidden costs, the subtle traps, and the fine print that separates a true opportunity from a well-disguised liability. Precision is the ultimate shield against haste. In the harbor of commerce, movement is not the same as progress. Many ships sail into the storm because they cannot bear to sit still. But the wise captain waits for the tide, understanding that the ocean does not negotiate with ego. Timing is the art of recognizing when the environment is finally in your favor. Compounding is a quiet miracle. It doesn't scream for attention, it simply persists. Like the sand in an hourglass, each grain seems insignificant on its own, but the weight of time eventually changes everything. If you can master the boredom of the middle phase, you have already won the game of wealth. The most vital work is often the most invisible. Before a tree can touch the sky, it must first anchor itself in the dark. This is the period of silence. No one sees the roots expanding, and no one applauds the effort. Yet, without this hidden foundation, the coming growth would be nothing but a fragile illusion. Time passes and the structure strengthens. The tree above remains modest, refusing to draw unnecessary attention, while the roots below become thick and unbreakable. This is the discipline of patience. You are not building for the season, you are building for the decade. True power is felt in the depth of the foundation. Watch the room as the years go by. The impatient, the loud, and the hurried eventually disappear. They burn out, they pivot too soon, or they are swept away by the very volatility they tried to outrun. The chairs they once occupied stand empty, a silent testament to the high cost of lacking discipline. But one figure remains, They are not the smartest, the fastest, or the most aggressive. They are simply the one who stayed. By adhering to silence, timing, and patience, they have outlasted the noise. Their presence is a quiet force that commands the room without saying a single word. Mastery is the ability to endure the uneventful. A calendar filled with crossed-off days might look like a lack of action to the amateur, but to the professional, it is the sound of a plan working. Being still here is the most underrated competitive advantage in the world of finance destiny. Wealth is built in the dark, one deliberate act at a time. In the vault of the disciplined, there is no frantic counting, only the steady, rhythmic accumulation of value. Each coin represents a moment where you chose silence over status and timing over impulse. This is how the fortress is filled. Silence protects the plan. It prevents the interference of those who don't understand your vision and the dilution of your own resolve. Like a steady flame in a windless room, your intent remains focused and hot, burning away the distractions until only the objective remains. Keep your counsel and keep your power. Timing protects the execution. It ensures that when you finally step through the door, the conditions are set for success. You do not force the lock, you wait for the key to turn. By aligning your actions with the natural cycles of the market, you move with the current rather than against it. Patience protects the outcome. It allows the seed to become the tree and the plan to reach its full maturity. When you close these doors, you seal your strategy away from the reach of doubt. The work is done. Now you simply allow the world to catch up to your preparation. Money doesn't chase people who master these three. It is not a predator to be hunted. It is a resource that flows towards stability. In the quiet of a well-ordered life, clarity becomes your greatest asset. You no longer react to the world begins to respond to you. It simply stops finding reasons to leave. Wealth is attracted to the silence of the strategist, the timing of the expert, and the patience of the master. When these disciplines are held together, the result is not just profit, it is a legacy that remains undisturbed by the noise of the world.